Hey, welcome back guys, thank you for the thumbs up. I've got to be very quick because the battery's very low on this. This week I'm going to try and tackle this slide out seals. They're not working. I bought a load of seals from Tool Station and they just fell off. When we had that heat wave I just found a whole lot on the floor. And I've already put all the wood in place and now can't re-access that area to put new seals in. I've got to come up with something completely different to what I originally did. I have an idea. Before I get into that, I just want to say thank you for the thumbs up on the previous video. 9 thumbs up, very much appreciated. That's the kind of stuff that I need. So thank you for the love that you're giving me, and I'll see if I can produce equal amounts of content back. The problem I've got is every day it rains, because this truck sits on its side slightly because of the unevenness. I can't say the word. Because the ground is a bit wonky, water gets in on that top roof part of the slide out, and it just pours straight in. It runs down the inside edge of the slide out, and then I've got a pool of water right up the other end here. And the problem is it's filling up a little trench that side, which I had other plans for wiring mainly, which is why I left a gap, I think. Anyway, the problem I got on this side is I've got no gap, can't get any seals in there. But I do have a gap this side, so what I have now got to do to equalise, or to do what I need to do, I've got to re-drill through here, take these screws out all the way up. I've got to get a circular saw. Don't know, not yet. I've got to get some sort of cutter in there, and I've got to cut that angle all the way down about an inch away from that edge. What the plan is, and we'll do it from this side to explain better. The plan is, see that piece of wood here? I don't know if you can. I want to glue on another piece of wood straight on top of that actually extends out to about here or there, roughly. A couple of well, I don't know, about a centimetre away from this edge here. And then the plan is, and I haven't got any in front of me, but we'll put a flat piece of alley straight over the top with a little overhang, and then we'll have rubber which will be rubbing over the top of the wood, but it won't rub onto this and scratch this up. So when that slide out's pushed out, that rubber should seal against, and because the wood sits forward of the internal part, and it will run under here as well, I had to cut that bottom one out, because it will sit proud, it should stop it from running inside. The rubber seal will get glued on with contact adhesive, but not the spray type, proper Evo stick, and I'm hoping that will be strong enough to put a decent seal. The battery is about to die on me. So yeah, it runs straight in over the top, it runs straight down the wood, and it comes straight into the bottom, and then goes straight down there where I haven't put any skirting in. Originally that gap there was for wiring, so I could hide it and then skirt over the top. That's just one of two problems. We've got the slide outs to sort out as yet as well. The pulleys, I've got to get rid of the wheel under there because that's not going to work, and I've got to redo that, and I've got to make another one of them for that side. I can't put it up top because that will cause the whole thing to twist. Okay, we've shifted the screws, we've moved them over. What we'll do is we'll put a piece of wood down up there, down to there as a guide, and we'll literally draw a line, and then we've got a tool review to do because a certain tool I've got to use I ain't done a review for yet. We're going to put a brain block, a fibre disc, I don't know what the hell they're called, cutting disc on it, so we can slide all the way down there with it, get that metal out, sabre saw blade at the bottom, at the top, we'll get that metal out, and then we'll get a sabre saw wood cut blade, push the slide out in, and then we'll cut down that line as neatly as we can get it. Hopefully we'll have enough of a gap that equals this side, and then we'll cut a piece of wood that can be screwed onto that and glued onto this. It's going to have to be hardwood, and somehow, and I don't know how I'm going to do it at the moment, got to get rid of this sealant because it's in the way. If I can't, then I'll have to put a rebate on the end, which wouldn't be a bad idea, on that edge of the wood anyway, and then the glue has got somewhere to spew out to when I push it on. Be wood glued onto that and sealed onto that with a Sikaflex style polyurethane. Probably 3 days in the week now, And all I've done is drilled a few holes, put some screws in, and then finally cut the first piece of metal out here. That represents the gap that I need in order to get another block of wood screwed in behind. Without that block of wood, I'm not going to stop this from leaking no matter how hard I try. Don't know if you can see that, but that's just 3 minutes of rain. Literally, it's been, what I say, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of rain. Wasn't even a heavy downpour. That's what's getting in. It's really annoying me. Those flipping seals from Toolstation do not work. As soon as it got hot in here, they fell off. There we go, guys. A very wonky line, but one gap later. Okay, this is the top rail. This goes on the roof. I've routed both areas. One of it is for the seal to just gently glide over. The other side, I kind of come to the conclusion that that roof line could get overwhelmed, and because I can't build the seals as thick as the side ones, I mean they're a good inch, that's half inch, quarter inch, just over quarter inch. I think it might get overwhelmed a little bit with rainwater, especially in a heavy storm. So what we're going to have to do, these pieces of wood will not be seen on the inside of the lorry at all. You'll never see them. You'll never be able to touch them. You'll never get your hands dirty from them. So I think what we'll do, we'll varnish these all up, except for the back edge, but the front edge, the curve, the lot. Get them as smooth as we can possibly get them with varnish. Screw them in as best as we can. This one's, I mean, we're going to have to put these in with wedges, I reckon, because I can't, unless I can rivet this down, which will mess up the seal if I do. So I'm going to try and just straight glue these down with sealant and wood adhesive at the back, and we'll use little wedges and we'll try and lock them in place for a day or two. Right, well the wood is in as best as I can get it. This one was a little bit more of a catastrophe because the sealant went every flipping where, but it's on. So I'm letting that dry. I've got wooden clothes pegs, wedging it so it keeps it away from the outside edge wall, so when we draw it back in it shouldn't rub. The one on the roof is also in place. You can probably just see the overlap. Temporary laid the old bit back on. I mean, I don't reach because I had to cut that side edge out. But now what we've got to do is try and figure a way, I'm not sure how we're going to do that though, of stopping any water drain off, which will be running down that line there and then dripping off that point there. We don't want it going back inside. That was the whole point of putting the wood on there in the first place. But to be honest with you, I don't think that is wide enough, that wood. I think I might need to add another piece. So I might glue on, we'll see where we go with this, but I might glue on some pine or a gutter of some description. Okay, the wood is in. I poured some water on the roof and I watched it dribble down. 80% of that water did not go inside. I would say 20% of it did. You can see the drips. What happened is where that curve is, which is where the seal is going to sit, it sort of followed a line and then went behind, which I expected in the first place, thinking to myself, the seal that's going on there will be fine, that'll hold that back. But we don't need to do that. We still are going to do the seal, but we don't need to fully rely on that seal. I think that seal will become a secondary water barrier and draft barrier. So I've cut a piece of clear plastic pipe, sorry, and I'm going to use that as a trough, more of a guide to keep the water down. So first things first, I'm going to get up there with a very sharp chisel and chisel up that wood up top. And I made a mistake. I should have curved that wood, that way I don't have to join the seal together. I could just bend it round. That one's going to be trickier, but yeah, I think we need to curve those. And there, on that thing there, look. Keep it on there. Don't get too close, but don't get too far away. Right, you ready?
Go on.
There you go. most of that water went out. I went over the ridge a bit, but that's because I've got no seals up top. Right, shut off. Right, the rubber seal is in. Now that's a random rear van door seal that came off a Citroen Dispatch, I think. And what I did, and I'll show you in a minute, is I split the little clippy bit of the seal. I don't know the proper name for it, but I split that off so as I could screw the whole thing in, because unfortunately there wasn't enough room to stick that alley strip down that gap and then clip it on and then screw it down. It wouldn't work. So I've put sealant behind and I've run a series of screws. It's not the tidiest. I just need to keep the water out. That's all I'm interested in at the moment. We can always tidy it up later. Right, here it is. We're going to start again. Here it is. This is not the seal. That's because it's still on the roof. Let me go up. There we are. Right. You can see what I've done. I've literally ground off. Filthy dirty job. And you've got that little blade. And what I've done is I've fed it in that way. So it sits, hopefully, hang on, like so. So that blade sits in between the plastic and that piece of wood. This one may not seal up as well, especially when we get up there, because there's no wood. But I am contemplating a second piece of pipe, just to give it something to wedge behind, like I did on this side. But I won't go to the extent of putting. I think that's going to snag and tear it to pieces, if I'm honest. There you go, as you can see. So that can be greased up, so it glides on and off. We know from yesterday's test that water now does run straight down and out. That does exactly what I need it to do. So yeah, but the next problem, when I do that side in a minute, the next problem we've still got, because I thought this was going to be a good idea and it turns out it didn't, is I've then got to find a way of sealing the bottom up. So what I'm probably going to do is take this all off again and cut that wood down even further, lay a piece of wood underneath, and I have got something in mind for that, and then put that back with another seal, but the opposite profile, screwed in there so it goes up. Right, I've thrown water over so it mimics a rainstorm as best as I can do it anyway. Oh, I'm getting water on my phone. Right. Alright, let's have a look. Are we dry or are we wet? There you go. Normally, where that light is shining is where the water runs down to. You can see the moist. That's an old damp patch. Actually, it's not even damp, it's a blob of glue. Hang on, I see a leak. And it's coming in from the underside, which I haven't sorted out yet. So, with that in mind, I think we're onto a winner. Let's have a look outside to see why that came in there. I'm not overly bothered by it at the moment because I haven't done the bottom seal. Only the top and the two sides. And I did actually expect water to find its way underneath, especially on a rainy day. And the hose did hit that area. Yeah, it's soaking that bit of wood. So yeah, I would suspect it's run down that seal. Actually, Yeah, it's wet there. So it's just got in underneath that area there. That corner has been the problem from the very beginning. Okay, well, we had a rainstorm yesterday. Not much of one, but enough to find out if this leaks. And guess what? No leaks. Not a dribble. Not a dribble. I am so pleased. This one got stuck though when I drew the slide out in and out, so I've had to play around with this piece of plastic a little bit, put it in a vise, wash it all up. I haven't sealed it on, it's still pretty much open and water can get behind that one, but I just wanted to experiment with it for the moment, and so far so good. Let's see where the water's been dribbling down. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. Actually, I'm over the moon because it's been getting on my nerves a long while. The only thing I haven't done yet is the seal under here. Okay guys, I don't know if you can see this, it's very late at night. It's been a bit of a horrendous week, and I'll explain that in a minute, but you can see the trim. And the idea is to paint this whole area black so it matches in with the windows there, and we'll do exactly the same on the other side when I get some more trim. So I'm going to call this video, but it also comes with a heavy heart that tomorrow I'm going to be putting another one of my dogs down. I'm not overly saddened. I'm upset. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when we lose animals, it's always a hard thing to do. But my little terrier, Cross, he's 16 years old, so he's done well. Unfortunately, the beginning of the week, and I didn't recognise the signs, he started to get kidney failure. I thought it was sickness and diarrhoea, and it turns out it wasn't, and he's now got very bad memory loss. Doesn't know what a dog lead is, doesn't understand what food is. He knows what water is, he knows how to go to the toilet, he's been doing plenty of that, but he's been extremely weak during the week. I've now got him back up again to almost where he was, but the thing is, he doesn't recognise any of us anymore, doesn't respond to his name, doesn't know what a ball is. Coupled up with the fact that he's got some other health issues before this is all kicked off, and also that he's 16 years old, so I'm afraid you're not going to be seeing him anymore in the videos. I'm not going to come back next week after, announcing it. I'm informing you all now. So again, thank you for your support. I'm sorry this video has been late coming, but last week it's been pretty damn horrendous. It's been a hard week, really hard. So thanks for viewing. Don't forget to press the like button, and again, thanks for your support guys. See you later.